Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I've had a few requests to show how I have installed my air compressor and the system that I'm using. Every time I go out into the desert, people are asking me, what? I think it's a really cool setup, and I would like to show you guys how I installed it. I actually made a whole go-along video of the whole thing, but then like the angles and stuff just didn't work. So I have since installed it. I've been using it quite a few times, and it's been working really well for me. I like to socialize while inflating or deflating, so the system that I'm using is great for me. I actually forgot the other day that I was deflating, and we had to get in our cars and I had to run like, oh damn, I needed to remove all the pipes, but the tire pressure was perfect as I had set it previously. Now, my system is based on two ARB products. I am using an ARB Twin compressor, okay, and I'm using an ARB pressure controller. So these two combined give me the perfect air setup that I am using. I did make a few changes. As you guys know, I like being different, so I did make a few changes to it, or adaptations, to make it suit for my needs. So yeah, let's hop into it. I'll show you where it is, I'll show you what I'm doing, and then if you guys like the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and ask me a question if you have any questions about the system. And yeah, let's hop into it. Okay, now you will see here that I have my ARB compressor installed, and then you would see these orange pipes. I will get back to them now. But here, this little box, or this little manifold here, this is what controls my actual air pressure. Hooked into this, there is a little brain box that looks like this, that controls my pressure via a Bluetooth app, the ARB app that I'll be showing here on the side of the screen now. Now, whenever I switch my compressor on, this app is active, and I can read the pressure, set the pressure, and do everything like that. So what I'm going to do is I will go through the whole process in a little bit and make a screen recording of that and add that to the video here in a little bit as well. Okay. So as you can see on the screen at the moment, it shows you your current pressure and then your target pressure, which is then what you want to set your tires to. Now, my setup isn't set up completely correct at the moment, because it's leaking air through a valve that I allowed into the system. Now, click on pressure off. You have pressure control, maximum pressure, or pressure off. If you press pressure control, it is going to change your tire pressure according to what your system says at here. So if you click on the one that says road at the moment, there's road, desert, desert 1, preset. So these are 4 preset pressures that you can use. That is a quick relief. Now, as you can hear in background at the moment, the compressor switches on and off to keep it at the correct pressure. If I would set it to desert, technically it is going to deflate the whole system until it reaches 12 psi. Once it drops below 12 psi, it will inflate it back up to the 12 psi. Now, there are numerous settings on this. If you click on the little gear at the bottom here, you can choose what your preset pressures are, your road, your desert, or for me desert. You can choose between kPa, psi, or bar. You can power mode. You can choose whether you want to have max power or go directly to controlling, or you can switch it to off, which means the app is not controlling it immediately when you switch on the app. You can also recalibrate it to make sure that the pressures are correct. You can allow only if the engine is running, which means when the voltage is higher than a certain point, then it will switch on, use your compressor or not. And that is about it for all of these settings. At the bottom, it will show you that it is connected or not and ready to go. If that pressure system is switched off, or in my case, my compressor is off, this doesn't connect, which means I cannot access this whole menu. And that is pretty much my pressure control system. Okay, so I told you there are 2 orange pipes that I'll tell you where they are going later. And here is that time. Behind my roll cage, on top of my little air 12-volt socket here, I have relocated my 2 ARB intakes, okay, so that I can have my cubby closed and inflate or deflate my tires. It still gets fresh air, it still gets cool air, because technically the car has cooler air than in the hole down here. It gets cleaner air as well, and it's out of the way, nice and relocated. And I just used, I think it's 1/8 inch plastic pipe to go from the bottom up to the top, and it works perfect. It has worked really well for me. Now, when I switch this switch on over here, it switches on my compressor, which then in turn activates my Bluetooth controller. Let me show you this a little bit closer. Okay, so as you can see, I have my ARB intakes, normal intakes. The only thing that they have is on the back, they have a 45/4 inch adapter on it that goes into these quick connects for these orange pipes. And then I have this little red part of my switch that activates or switches on my compressor. My car isn't switched on at the moment, which is why my compressor won't switch on, just for extra safety. So I 3D printed this whole bracket that holds it in place, and afterwards I 3D printed this red one just to extend the button a little bit so that there's more space behind it for the wiring. Okay, so I have my whole system primed here. I have a pipe going into the manifold, and then there is a pipe going from the manifold, but it's not going anywhere specific. Yeah, right. Okay, so it's going through the green holder or bracket that is another hole that takes a pipe into the Jeep. Now, why would I do that? Because in my system, I inflate all 4 tires at the same time. I inflate them at the same time and I deflate them at the same time using the ARB Pressure Control app. And you basically set it and you forget it. Set and forget, and there you go. Okay, so that is where that pipe is going to my 4 wheel arches. Now in this bag, I have 4 shorter pipes, okay? I'm going to show you that when we get to the side of the Jeep. Now, as I said earlier, in each wheel arch, you will see a little green fitting like this. This is one of my 4 outlets for each wheel. Now, when it gets to that, I have 4 pipes rolled up in a little 3D printed holder for them, just to keep them neat and tidy. And then you have a short piece of pipe. This pipe, I have a little cap so that there doesn't go dust or sand into the brackets. And then I plug this into the system. Okay? And then plug the other side of the hose onto my wheel cap. Now, when it's set up like this, I can inflate 1 tire, 2 tires, 3 tires, or 4 tires, all 4 tires at the same time. Inflate and deflate them to the perfect pressure that I set with my pressure controller. I can't remember which one. So I do this on all 4 tires, set the pressure, forget about it, and go have a chat with my buddies while we are deflating. And when I'm finished, unplug it, roll it back up, put it in my little handy dandy 3D printed organizer, and put it back in the bag. So this is a small way of storing it, and put the cap back on, put my air cap back on, and there you go. Tires are inflated or deflated, and it doesn't really take me that much longer than, well, it's a lot faster to doing all 4 tires than going one wheel at a time, inflating all 4 of them to the right pressure, deflating all of them to the right pressure is a lot quicker. Now, something that's really cool about this app is you cannot over deflate, you cannot over inflate. If I drop it down to 10 psi when I'm going to the desert, it drops it down to 10 psi, and then every time the tire, let's say there's a leak in the hose or whatever, it will inflate it back up so that the whole system is energized pretty much up until 10 psi or to 36 psi, depending on the pressure that you put it. But all 4 tires will have exactly the same pressure, which is also perfect because you want all 4 tires to be the same. But it doesn't over deflate, so you can forget about it. It won't go flat. It will keep it, pump it up, lower it down, pump it up, lower it down, and keep the system regulated until you unplug those hoses. Okay, so that is my inflation system. Let me quickly show you my extra tip where I can inflate some things. In this bag, I have my extra ARB inflation kit. Okay, so it has my connector, and I can use an extra ARB hose to inflate anything and everything that I want to inflate. Let's say a pool lilo or a football. I can do all of that from this compressor through the app with that pipe. Inside my gas cap, I have drilled a hole, made an adapter, and put an extra ARB air chuck so that I can put my normal orange pipe, I can plug into this and then inflate any extra thing with straight out of here without, I can still use those in the wheel arches, but this one is just a little bit easier, a little bit more accessible, and it's out of the way, it's hidden. And there you go, that's my 5th air outlet. So guys, that is my pressure, my compressor system, my air system on the Jeep. I installed it so that all 4 tires can be inflated or deflated at the same time, because I like chatting while I get to an inflation or deflation point. If you guys like this video, please leave a like. If you guys would like to see more videos like this of what I get up to with the Jeep, please subscribe. It cannot harm. So remember to leave a like, subscribe, and if you have any questions on the system, post them down in the comments, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I see that notification. Sometimes it takes a while because I forgot I had 2 accounts. So yeah, leave a comment and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Guys, I'll see you out there. Cheers.